So I want to make a video about how to import parts into OnShape. My example here is that I'm making a frame, just a picture frame, and I need a hinge, something to attach this front part of the frame to the little stand on the back. And a hinge isn't something I would 3D print or laser cut, really. I would just buy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website that supplies hinges and also has a lot of CAD models, McMaster.com. McMaster is a pretty good site for finding almost anything and having CAD models for most of the things they sell. So I'm going to type in a hinge. I'm looking for hinges here. They have tons of hinges here. I'm going to go with a surface mount hinge with holes, just this first one here. If I go back and look at my model, I can see that the top of my stand, if I click the top edge here, it's 1 inch wide. So I'm looking for a 1 inch hinge, something that'll fit right there. You got height and width of your hinges here. Let's see here. Oh, door leaf height. This is what we need. We need less than an inch. How about that? We have a 3/4 inch hinge looking here. So that'll probably be about the right size for me. I'm going to click, I've got product detail. I can look at its details. I can check out its measurements here. And when I'm ready, I can go to this part where it has this symbol for CAD. I can select the type of 3D model I want to download. I recommend step models and just click download. It'll download the hinge to your computer. And now I can go back to my OnShape model and I can click insert new element, import. And I'm going to go ahead and import what I just downloaded, which is this surface mount hinge. It's a step file. I'm going to click open. There's some settings here for how to import it. As you do more of this, you might want to play around with those. But I'm just going to use the default settings and click OK. It'll take a moment to upload it, and then it'll take a moment for it to appear as a part at the bottom of your workspace. So here I can see surface mount hinge with holes. If I click that, I can see here's my hinge right here. Now, if the part you imported is multiple parts, such as this hinge, which is actually 3 parts, it's got a top, a bottom, and a pin that goes through it, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to assemble these parts as a separate assembly. So I'm going to click the plus. I'm going to create a assembly. So plus, create assembly. And I'm going to go ahead and insert all my parts from that hinge document. So this is right here, part 1603A2, the surface mount hinge. Here we are, just like that. This is a hinge. It needs to be able to rotate around. So let me go ahead and take one part to the side. I'm going to put the pin and one part kind of combined. I'm going to group them. So I'm going to select them and group them. They're already oriented how I want. I just want to lock them in place. That's good. And now I'm going to use this revolute mate right here. And I'm going to take this part of this hinge and I'm going to revolute it right around there. I can press my animate to see how it works. That looks pretty good how it's working. If I want to control how much it opens and closes, I can select limits on it, on how far it moves. Let's try from 0 to 90 degrees and let's see what that does. Okay, that doesn't actually work. Let's go ahead and, it's just moving. Let's lock this right one in place, right click, and let's just finish this right now. Let's right click and fix. Let's see what my range of motion is from 0 to 90. Oh, it's going backwards. I don't really like that. So let me go back into my revolute mate. And instead of from 0 to 90, let's go with 270 to 360. So you have to kind of find the range of motion that gives you the part you want, the hinge you want. So it comes down to here, 270, all the way up to here. It's flat. Yeah, I can probably rotate even farther, probably all the way down to 180 is what I really want. For a realistic range of motion for a hinge, I'm looking at it coming all the way down to be flat down here. Yeah, that should be good. All right, so once I'm done, I now have my part. And I can go back to my original assembly where I was assembling my picture frame, and I can insert, click assemblies because I made an assembly of it. It was called assembly 2. And there's my hinge. And now I kind of can do what I want with it. I can fasten it to the back of my picture frame. Let me go ahead and do that. Oops. Get this piece here. And ordinarily I'd want to place this exactly somewhere, but for now I can just place it kind of wherever. There it is. I'm going to attach this other side of the hinge. Let me fix this in place. So I can rotate this hinge down. There we go. I'm going to fasten this side of the hinge to the little stand I've got here. I probably want this stand to stop me from opening the picture frame too tall. So I'm going to need to offset this joint. I'm going to click offset here. And it looks like you see this green line here is the y-axis. So y positive down, I need to move it up. So that'll be negative. So let me move it back negative ½ an inch. Oops, I guess that's the wrong way. Let's move it ½ an inch in the y direction. There we go. Ooh, looks like I'm going to hit the picture frame a little bit sooner than I want here. I don't know. Let's see here. So that might be good. It would stop my hinge right here is where it would stop it. The question is whether or not that is enough of a stand. Maybe I need to move the hinge up a little bit. Let's go to my first joint where I fastened the hinge to the picture frame. And I'm going to move this up a little bit. Let's move this up maybe an inch. There we go. That's looking maybe about right. I can picture the angle it would sit at. It would sit at about this angle right here. That would probably be stable enough. But you could tweak that depending on the size of your stand, depending on the location of the hinge. But that's how you would import a part. So that way you don't have to design a hinge from scratch. And also, not only do you have to design it, but then what are you going to do to make it? 3D printing it, it's probably not going to be a really strong piece to make out of plastic. Really, you want to order a metal hinge, and now you can. So there you go. That's how you import parts into OnShape.